And good afternoon, evening, or wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining my stream today. Now, again, this is more of going to be a test stream because I'm fully aware that my warnings for streaming are going out quite late, and also I don't have many followers just yet, but that's fine. We'll get there eventually, you know how it is. But for those watching on the video on demand, welcome and thank you for coming along. Today I'll be continuing my little trip into the wonderful world of Valheim, as before, except this time I'll actually have the food stations working correctly. Turns out that there was actually a bug, well, not a bug, but it's like a conflict. If you have the EpicLoot mod, which I had on, which I think was responsible for the blue items that I kept finding, the magic stuff, which is a bit of a shame because I quite like those. For some reason that I haven't figured out yet, that seemed to conflict with at least the food stations where you can pick anything up, which kind of makes it a bit pointless, really. So yeah, I've taken that out. Everything else is as left as it is, though, because that seemed to work fine. I did a lot of testing just to make absolutely certain that was the case. Anyway, without any further ado, I'm just going to crack on and log in because that would be a good idea. So, how are we all today? I hope you're fine whenever and wherever you're listening to this. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to help support the channel, get it going, get some people going on, tell your friends, all the rest of it, you know, the usual sort of stuff. I won't just be streaming Valheim, obviously. That would get quite dull, I think, after a while. The idea of these couple of streams is more for testing purposes, like I said before, to make sure that my stream actually works, and I'm getting used to doing it again because it's been ages since I've done this. And also, excuse me, just to you know, get used to doing it all again and make sure it all works. And also, I'll have these at some point edited as VODs on my channel, which will be much more shortened versions of any highlights that I might just happen to have. Forget any, that is. And let me just check the stream quality is actually working. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I've just changed over from OBS to Streamlabs. Now, not because I'm going to be spending money on it, because at the moment I think that for none of my viewers right now that I'm getting live, that would be a bit of overkill, I think. But I think it has got a couple of useful features. But yeah, quality looks perfectly fine, so we'll leave that alone. That's good. All right. Okay, so what I'll do is we'll just continue from where we left off last time, and that was my attempt to make some coal, which, as you can see, oh, apart from I've got no in my inventory, I finally got working. So I have absolutely no idea what half this stuff is. Oh yeah, I picked some of this stuff, didn't I? As you can see, my magic items have gone now, sadly. So I've no longer got my magic hammer, which is very sad, and I have a pointless leather tunic because it has no magic items anymore, and my flint knife. So I think what I'll do is I'll just dump these in the house. And if you remember, what I was going to be doing, if you watched the last stream, is I'm going to make a hand cart so I can start carrying stuff around, because we're going to need some copper to do some exciting stuff. There's the copper there, look, there you go. So let's dump some of this rubbish that I don't need for the time being. So we don't need that, we don't need that, and we probably should eat some food. Oh, that's the last of my soup. Oh dear. I'm going to dump that as well. That'll do. Cool. Right, so let's go back and do the whole... Actually, before no, I'll leave the copper for now. We'll get it in a minute. Right, let's have a look. I've still got that toolbar, which I still don't quite know what it's for. I haven't figured out. One of these mods has that toolbar, and I just can't quite figure out what it's there for. Right, let's cook some food. At least this time it will actually work. So, how has it been today for you guys? I've had nothing exciting to report, I'm afraid. Nothing's happened as far as I can tell. Normally, what I used to do in a stream that I did a long time ago is I would discuss gaming news and that sort of thing, because that's always quite cool to get into. At the moment, however, I haven't seen anything exciting to tell you, so I won't bother with that today because I'm not really sure. but there will be. Let me just make sure I'm actually... Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fine. For a brief moment there, I thought I wasn't actually broadcasting anything. That would be a bit of a pain. But there will be. Fine. We have coal, and as you can see, we can actually pick it up, which is lovely. Right, so what we're going to do then is we're going to dump that coal into this lovely smelter here. If I can find the right place to put it. Oh, wrong side. There you go, 3 coal for now. I've got no idea if that's going to be enough to do what I need. I actually can't remember the ratio between ore and metal, so we'll have a look. I just need enough to make some iron nails anyway, so it's not that many. Just chuck it all in, save me carrying it all. And out will pop iron. Not iron, copper bars, which would be lovely. Well, as I recall, it's not copper that we need. We need tin as well. That's the other thing we need. So I think what I might do actually is I'll just dump my copper here because it's quite heavy. Oh, well, over there then, fine. And what we need to do is we need to go and find some tin. Now, tin is usually found on the water's edge of the Black Forest area. I have actually seen it occasionally in the meadow section as well, but I'll see if we're lucky this time or not, because sometimes you can find loads of it, and sometimes you just can't find any, which is it's a nightmare trying to find it if you can't find it, if you know what I mean. That made sense in my head. So we'll do that first. Oh, after I've dispatched this guy. They never learn, do they? What's that there? Oh no, just a wet rock. Tin has a much more metallic look to it, in case you were wondering. Anyway. Oh, there's a fishy guy. Let's kill him. Unfortunately, because my man is soon going to be very, very hungry and very poor because he hasn't built up anything he needs to actually make decent food, I'm going to have to eat neck tails, because why not? Come here, little sod. No, there you go. Lovely. That's not tin. Nope. Yeah, tin looks a touch more metallic, I think I remember rightly. So, I was quite sad to hear today. Well, not sad as such, but it wasn't unexpected that one of my more unusual hobbies, if you can call it that, because I've only really started doing it, and I'm getting there. I'm not as good as these guys. I'm getting there, but I have a thing for picking locks. Not the I'm going to steal things out of your house type of lock picking. No, they call it lock sport, and you basically just do it for fun. I imagine that a lot of people who might listen to this have heard of the lockpicking lawyer, which I listen to quite a lot. What should I say? He's very good. And there was also one who I think predated him actually, called Bosnian Bill, and he sadly had to retire as of it was officially announced today. It's a long story, but essentially one of his I think one of his close family members died from COVID. You know how it goes, and unfortunately he had to look after the kids. They've gone back now. Everything, that they're back to where they should be, but he decided that he should probably stay with his family and give up the whole making millions of videos a week sort of thing like he used to. Yeah, throwing stones at me is going to just annoy me. Just stop it now. So yeah, that was a bit of a sad thing. If you wanted to pop onto his YouTube page, you could do so, and if you actually watched him, you might want to just say some kind words, perhaps. But yeah, so that happened today. There's some tin. Good. I'll grab a few more blocks of this stuff, I think. And oh, missed that. There we go. What's happened today? No, not really, actually. Funnily enough, I won't go into massive detail because I I tend to never finish these things. I always have good intentions, and for whatever reason, I never actually end up finishing it. I'm currently looking at designing a game. It's quite a cool game actually, if I can get around to actually doing it, but that'll take some time. I've been working on that over the last few days, but my headspace is not exactly in the right place to be sitting there concentrating on writing game stuff. But it should be quite good. If I actually get around to doing some, I'll actually let you guys know. But for the time being, I think I'll just stick to reviewing them rather than actually writing them. I will actually look at doing some game reviews, I think, soon, because I quite enjoy doing the whole game review thing. And it was my initial attempts that you can find on this very YouTube channel, actually, if you want to have a look at my early attempts. They did, I think they got better and better as the time went on. I can see ways to improve them, though, so I'll really try that. Got to be careful with game reviewing, because there's a million people out there who do game reviews, and there's only one or two that I actually respect, because most of them, as I'm sure we are all aware, are basically just shills, and they will get paid to say nice things about people's games, which I don't think I would ever do. I can't imagine that. I mean, yes, it's always nice to get paid some money to do something that you might have a small moral issue of doing, but when money gets thrown in front of you, you're like, nah, do you know what, it'd be fine. But no, I can't see me doing that. It's not something that I think I would get into. In fact, anybody who knows me listening to this, which is very doubtful, because I don't think anybody knows I'm doing this, to be honest, they would probably agree that I'm not into that sort of thing. Sponsored stuff, that's a bit different. I mean, as long as sponsorships don't actually interfere with or have a conflict of interest of what I'm reviewing, you know, like if EA sponsored me to forever, I wouldn't do that, by the way. EA are actually the devil. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing that sort of stuff. But let's concentrate on actually getting some people to watch the channel first, shall we? Before we look at anything like that.
18 concerts on the 27th of September 2021, including
for some bizarre reason, my Alexa decided that she wanted to give me a rundown of something that I have absolutely no idea what she's talking about. I can't hear her because I've got headphones on. She just broke into a long discussion about something. I don't know what she thought I said. Oh, well, never mind. The funny thing about these... wind's picked up. That's quite cool. Yeah, the funny thing about these home assistants... I was talking to my other half about this, actually, because she brought it up and she thought it was quite worrying. Now, we all know, of course, that these home assistants, they are always on. They're always listening for their wake word. So when you say that word, which I'm not going to say again, they'll ask you what you want, all the rest of it. It's great. That's fantastic. Now, because they're always on, they're always listening. And as we were told, they will not listen to anything except for the wake word. If it's not the wake word, it'll be immediately ignored and everything. We now believe that's a load of rubbish, because we were talking about something I've forgotten, actually. Oh, that's right. One of the things that okay, so there's a guy that I follow, and I'm sure we've all heard of him, the Spiffing Brit. Great chap, nice guy. And recently, he's had the unfortunate... what's the word? He's had the unfortunate hobby, I can't think of the right word, of telling absolutely terrible dad jokes. I mean, these jokes are just horrendous, and he needs to just stop, to be honest. But we were, I was telling my other half, we were sharing dad jokes ourselves just because we were in that sort of mood. And yeah, funny thing is, I think it must have been a day later or so. Was it dad jokes? Alexa said something about that. I remember that something was mentioned, but I can't remember what it was. But there was also something else that we discussed briefly. And then I got a message from the Alexa app on my phone. And then the next day, I think it was, telling me, we think you should have a new this, whatever it was. And I'm like, well, I didn't ever ask you for that. I've never looked at it on your search engine, and I've never looked on the Amazon app for that item. And yet, somehow, magically, she decided that I actually needed to have one of these items. So, yeah, I'm a bit wary about that. Bit of coffee. So just to check, I decided that I had an unfeasible requirement to talk about ice skates and ice skating. I made it very clear to my other half that I wanted some ice skates and I wanted to go ice skating and we should go ice skating immediately. And I wish I had some ice skates to go ice skating with. I basically said it like that. So I'm now awaiting a message from Alexa to tell me that, oh, we think you need some new ice skates. And if she does that, I'm going to make a big deal about it because I think that's shocking. You know what I mean? That's not right. But yes, that was a thing. Anyway, I'm sitting here babbling, and I can't cook outside because it's a bit wet, so I need to make one of these. We'll shove it in here, where it was before when I thought it wasn't going to work. There we go. Right. Ooh, let's cook some more food. And while that's cooking, I'm going to chuck those rocks on the floor. I don't know what they're doing there. I'll just go outside and grab this. My 1 bar of copper. Okay. What do I need to make a... I think what I'm going to have to do, aren't I? Because I thought I was going to be clever and I would go and just make enough coal to do this. But unfortunately, yes, it looks like it's at least, what, 3 or 4 bits of coal for 1 piece of metal. So I think what we're going to do is we're not going out in this weather because it's absolutely awful. Let's go to sleep. Actually, after I picked up my coal I have got here. I'll just pop this actually in here. I must put some steps there. There. We'll let him get on with that. We'll have a nap and we'll go and get some more suitling cores so we can actually go and build an actual kiln. Oh, whatever. There we go. Cool. Let's go to sleep, and I should have some more coffee. A good morning. Sadly, it's still raining, which is annoying. Let's just chuck these out. I thought I'd got rid of these already. Oh well. I've got 2 hammers, which is quite funny. I'll just chuck that in there, actually. There we go. In fact, I'll just ditch that hammer as well for now. And I'll throw that tin over there. And I don't think we need that, do we? I think we'll even just... Do we need to keep that for anything? I don't think so. Or should I, just in case I need it for later on? Do you know what? I can't remember if this game has weapon racks. I think it does, actually, doesn't it? It has weapon... I must get some weapon racks, actually, and make it look tidy. That's what I need to do. In fact, I can check that, can't I? Let's have a look. Can you do that? Can you have a weapon rack? As an item stand? That'd work, wouldn't it? What's that do? Oh. Oh, I can already buy them, apparently. I did not know that. Did I buy them? Build them, I meant. Let's have a look. Yeah, I suspect this is one of the mods I've added. To be honest, let me just swap that out and I'll put it. Oh, yeah, it's not quite what I had in mind, but it'll do. Lovely, very odd. Okay, let's pop that back in there. Nice. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go and look for Let's look at the map, actually. I think that is the closest forest, isn't it? Yeah, so we'll win it to the forest, and we'll see if we can find another burial chamber. I can't speak today. That's not good. Right. Actually, while I'm here, can I kill that deer, or is he buggered off? Yeah, I think he's had enough of me already. That never mind. We're not bothered with that. Trying to just decide what game to play next. What I'm thinking of doing, actually, I was thinking about this today. I'm not going to do it today because, like I say, I'm still kind of just testing this sort of thing. And what I was thinking of doing is, I've seen it happen a fair number of times on different channels, but I would like to do it on a more regular basis. I think if I've got the energy to do it, that's why I'm going to be careful and not say I'm definitely going to do it. I'm wondering if I should do some live reviews of games rather than just doing a quick review like I did before. I like the idea of live reviews because you tend to be able to give more honest opinions as you're playing it rather than distilling it into like a 10-minute quick like review and you're being very careful what you say and that sort of stuff. I think for a lot of people, first impressions are quite important. Now, of course, the only downside to doing a live review is that you're kind of showing everyone the game. And when you want to actually buy the game, the last thing you want to do is see how to play it. So I'm not sure how many people would actually want to watch that. I haven't figured that one out yet. But I have noticed that, for example, the reviewers who tend to get games early, they do get a lot of people watching it. The only problem with such things is that a lot of the time I've noticed these reviews are not really reviews because let's be honest, they're essentially sponsored. Did I just hear a rumble? Is there a troll around here somewhere? If you see the ground shake, that's never usually a good sign. So just be a bit wary if you see that. I don't really want to get involved in fights with trolls purely because my sword is almost broken. And without my sword, that would be a little bit on the tough side, I would suggest. Anyway, let's continue our search. So yes, that's what I'm kind of considering because I'm never going to be in a position, at least not for the moment. I'm not going to ever get any like game key sent to me. What's that? Oh, it's the outside. Yeah, I'm not going to get any game key sent to me by developers and publishers because, come on, no one knows who I am yet, which is fine. I'm not comparing. You know, actually, I'll tell you a quick story. There was the very first video that I ever did, which was the ski jumping VR video. They actually gave me a review key. Would you believe? The very first one. I've never done it before. I've never even had anything on this channel at all. And they actually gave me a game key. I was quite impressed with that. It was an absolutely terrible game, and I completely destroyed it in my review. And I suspect I'll never get another key again. But kudos to those guys. I forget the name of the company now who did it. They actually took a punt and gave me a key. I'm absolutely chuffed with that. It wasn't a great game. I have to be honest. It could have been a really good game, but it was basically a mobile phone port. And the trouble with mobile phone ports is that the VR aspect was, well, it was never going to work because it was only in, I think it was in 3-axis. So it was like, I think it was Z and XY. There was no other movements. It just looks. It's like the old-fashioned Game Gear. Remember the game, not Game Gear. What they're called, Gear VR, whatever it's called. The Samsung one. What the hell are they? Buke-Perries. Never heard of them. That's a new item. So yeah, it was awful. So I'm not going to be giving good reviews to people just because they give me a free key. I really don't like that at all. I think that sucks. And I have also, I'm not going to name names because that's not fair. I do watch a fair number of different review types. Well, that's just not true. I used to watch a lot of different reviewers. I stopped watching most of them because I did not agree with them. Now, that's not to say that I didn't agree with their opinions of a game, because let's be honest, it is just an opinion. It's not like if one reviewer says something, that's fact. That's not where I look at it. But I didn't like some of the things that they said in regards to why they didn't like a game, for example. And because of that, I didn't watch them. So I would whittle down my review list to only literally a few. And they are completely different types of reviewers. Like I say, I'm not going to name names because that's not a good idea right now. But I can't remember if I've been in this one or not, actually. I don't think I have. Let's have a look if it is. Oh, no. Yeah, because that mushroom there hasn't been taken. So I think this is a new one. Excellent. Let's have a look, see what we've got going on. Nothing yet. Oh, that's a good start, isn't it? Apologise if it's a bit dark. You're not missing much right now. Oh, there's a look at that. Now, what I could do is I could now leave. I have now got enough calls to make what I need. But as I'm here, I mean, I might as well go on it, couldn't I? Although I have a suspicion that could be the only one, because that's 2 doors already. What's behind door number 3? Another door. Good. That's something. Nice. That's not too bad, I suppose. We've got a few more calls to pick up. Now, for those who haven't played this before, you'll be wondering, what's this? In fact, I think I need this actually now, don't I? Anything useful here? Always pick up the arrows. So, oh, there's a troll cloak. Oh, wow. Okay, so this does still have extra items. I don't know where that's come from, but I'm not going to complain, like. Oh, okay. That looks like a slight issue with one of the thingies. Actually, I'll have to look at that. Oh no, I think that's what this always came with Sneak, didn't it? Yeah, I don't need to keep that, and that's fine. I won't bother with the money. Yeah, this is how you find the elders' locations. Now, the elders are what you need to kill in order to progress during the game, and to find them, you have to go to the different tombs and stuff. So, as you can see, he ain't down the road. That is a fair distance. If you consider how long it takes me to get from there to there, that's a lot of distance. I guarantee you there'll be water here somewhere as well. So we'll take him on a little bit later. So we'll not do that for now, obviously. But that's what you need to find. You find these glowing symbols, and it'll tell you where to go and find them. Now, in case anybody didn't know, the reason you do that is because if you destroy the elder, you then get their like special power. Now, I've already got 2 of them. I can't remember. Did I get these with? I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, I got the wishbone, and I think that belt actually you buy that belt, I believe, from the trader. I'm trying to remember now. This thing, you get that from one of the I think you get it from the swamp guy, because it helps you find things underground, but it also helps you find like water, the metal shards you need, the iron shards to build stuff. I'm just going to pop it on hold for just a second, because my dog has decided, even though I took him out literally half an hour ago, they want to go out again, because that's what dogs do. I will just be a minute. There we go. Why is it dogs always pick the most inopportune moments to want I need to go out for a pee, and you are going to take me? I've got 3 of them, so it's not like I have much of a choice. Okay, I think, looking at it, that's basically all I'm going to get from in here. Yeah, that's it. That's a very small dungeon, actually. I did say in the previous stream that you do get long sprawling ones, and you also get really small ones, but that's fine. I did get what I needed, so we can head off back home now. Very nice. Okay. Oop. Now, where's home? Oh, carrot seeds. So these are carrot seeds. You don't often find these. These aren't very common. You've got to look for these. It's always worth grabbing these because you will need carrots at some point, I think. I like carrots anyway. Carrots make carrot soup, and carrot soup is very nutritious. And if I can actually hit this thing, it does keep going. Although, as I mentioned before, they have changed the food in this game. I've yet to fully discover what that is, but I know they've made a change to stamina and health for each type of food. Oh, there's some more carrots here. Look at this. But it always used to be that if you found thistles and carrot seeds, you'll always pick them up. Oh, hello. It's always worth grabbing some deers as well. I don't really want to sense in logics, but there you go. Look at that! What a shot! I don't want to use the hidden objects thing right now because I don't need to. It's almost always just cash and gold and jewels, and I don't need that right now. Not necessary. This, however, much more useful. Basically, it helps you mine things quicker. That's really what it's for. I've got no food again. Look, let's eat some sausages, mushrooms. What are these? Allows the consumer to quickly evacuate any misplaced meal and start. Oh, lovely! That's very nice. Okay, so it makes you puke, essentially. Why would you do that? I suppose it might be handy if you eat the wrong food for like. No, I don't know. Yeah, that's a bit odd. Okay, well we'll leave that. I think. Okay. What can I throw away? I suppose I should keep those for now, just in case we need them for something. I guess I don't know. I don't need these seeds yet. Those seeds you will need at some point, by the way. Actually, do you know what? Because I know that, maybe I should keep it. Actually, I don't need the antlers though. They can go away. What can I get rid of? I suppose I don't need the mushrooms though for the time being. Anyway, yeah, these things here. You need. I forget how many it is. I think it's 10 or 20, and you need them to summon the the first boss, if you like, or the second boss. Actually, I haven't killed the first one yet. And you get them from the glowing bone piles you find. Not bone piles. What are they called? Oh, I can't remember what they're called now. Shocking. Right, let's just mark this as a copper. You don't actually need copper for very long in this game. It's essential to begin with. Eventually, it's a resource that's just not required. But you do need it early on. Ooh. Oh. I think this deer's going to live for another day. Oh, come on. No. I could try running, but I've got no stamina. Is that 2 of them? Yeah, he was going down. We just pick up the stuff I've already got. That's fine. It's one of the weird things about this game. You can carry to your weight limit in the same item, but you can't carry more than 24 items of different types. Touch annoying. And as far as I am aware, there is no way to increase that. There's no backpacks or anything you can get hold of, which is a bit of a shame. I think that's a missed opportunity. The trader it would have been great if the trader actually sold things like that. That'd be nice. Is that same deer that ran away last time? I don't think he's in the trees. I ain't going to find that, am I? Oh, I might do. Let's have a look. See if I can grab him. Oh, there's a tree in the way. Yeah, he's gone. I like the way they do run off. Who's that? Oh, it's a ball. Ball meat is quite a useful thing to get hold of, but it's also very useful to get the cloth scraps. But I'll eat it for the time being, I think. Let's just get home. There's that deer again. Oh, that was a close one. You can get these little buggers from range. It is possible. Not when you've got no energy left, that isn't. Fine. It lives for another day. Okie dokie. So, technically speaking, I should have almost enough to build this thing. I'm going to need some stones because I haven't got any just yet. I don't know how many I need. I'll find out in a minute. Let's put some of this stuff in my dump corner. Because I'm now going to christen it my dump corner. That sounds professional. I would eventually get around to making a chest. Don't want to buy all berries. That's not good. Right, that'll do for now. So let's... oh, 11 stone. That should be enough, actually. Right, let's go over here. Might have to build a platform for it to sit on, actually. Let's have a look. So we're going to build a kiln. Now, what am I missing? Oh, I need 20 stone for a kiln. Right, okay. It's actually very dark. I can't see anything. Sure, I saw stone there. There's a stone. Well, that's handy. I don't need this anymore, do I? How many stone do I have now? 17. Oh, 18, 19. I need one more. Oh no, actually, was that it? Oh no, yeah, one more stone. I'm not going to destroy the other fire for it. Oh, look at that. Lovely. Right, let us build a kiln. Extraordinarily useful this is. There we go, done. So for a kiln, all you need to do is chuck in some wood. That's really all you do. Where did I put the wood? Is it in the back, is it? What's going on here? Why can't I actually add the wood? Should be... Oh, right, that's a bit odd. Is that actually under the... Yeah, I might have to move that, I think. It's hanging off the edge a little bit. Grab all the ingredients that I need. For some reason, I don't have enough stone. No room in inventory. What? Oh, right. That was annoying. Right, let's put this somewhere else. Somewhere that makes more sense. How about there? That looks a bit easier. There we go. So what we do is we just chuck in some wood. I've got loads of this stuff. You can use normal wood and you can use fine wood. And I just happen to have a big stack of fine wood here. Fine wood is obviously very helpful. But you don't actually need it right now. You can use it for later on. Button. There you go. And what I tend to do is grab as much wood as possible if I haven't got any left here. You can only make stacks of, I think it's 50 wood, if I remember rightly. And you can't make it because I'll just dump it and put next to it basically for the time being. There you go. Right, we'll let that get on with it. There's no point picking it up now because there'll be no time for that. It'll take far too long. So what you do is you let it go in overnight usually. Go for a nap. There we go. As you can hear it going off in the background. Nice. Okay, so let's go out and see what we have. There you go. It's a nice load of coal. For the coal. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I actually have got I think it works. If I remember, you can actually. I got a mod. I think it's an auto fueling mod. It does save some time. Yeah, I can't remember if. Actually, do you know what I should do? I think I should move that closer. I think that's a good idea. I totally forgot I had that. It's a bit. I'm not sure if cheating is the right word. It's certainly very convenient, and it does make a lot of sense in terms of gameplay. I think personally, to have it so it will spit out coal like next to where it needs it. So let's put it there. I reckon that. What actually interesting? Why is it off by itself? Is it actually nicking this wood? I'm not quite sure where it picked up the wood from. Well, that's quite odd. Yeah, that's very cool. That is. I like that. It's like a factory. Why don't we shove the copper there? Because that'll probably pick it up now, you see. And then we can also do the same thing for the tin. I think ultimately what you can do is put it into chests and it'll actually be a lot neater. But for the time being, we're just going to chuck it there. There you go. Nice. And that should, in theory, be completely self-sufficient. Although this isn't. Let me pick up this wood here. And let's see if I shove it next to this and that'll work. That'd be handy. Apparently not. Maybe. So you can't do it with wood. That's unfortunate. That would have been easier. Anyway. So while that's cracking on with that, let's see what else we need to do. So we need to build up this workbench because that's needed to be able to repair things. So let's have a look and see what we need for that. Tons of crafting, isn't it? So you see all these star items. They're the things you need to build up different parts of the workbench. So, for example, we need a tanning rack. We need a chopping block, and the is it adze? I think it's pronounced, or ads. I don't know. That one requires a forge though, and we want to build a forge, so that's that one there. So the forge only requires. Oh, do you know what? I remember what we were doing now. So we need 4 coal to build the forge. We already have the copper now, so I can go ahead and do this because I've got almost everything I need. So let's do that then. That's definitely a good thing to do. So we need to get some wood first of all. This is just standard wood. So I've got loads of copper, as you can see. That I'll grab some coal later. That's not going to be a problem. Right, let's get my horrible little axe, which I don't like. Let's go and pick on some big trees. That still fell on my head. That's quite annoying. Without the that strength thing I have added onto it at the moment, and obviously my skill set as well, because he's quite good with axes. This will take an age. What's this say? Anything useful? Anything different? Where the grass grows underfoot. Yeah, we've seen that already. When I first started playing this, I thought those streaks you can see there, I thought they were arrows being shot at me. I kept trying to avoid them. If anybody is actually watching this and they have some ideas for some games that I can review coming out, or even games that are already out and you want to see a fresh perspective, drop a note in the comments below and I can have a look and see if we can do anything. There's only a few restrictions on what I'm going to review because there's certain games either I just absolutely can't stand or I just simply can't play, which is some games I'm not that good at. But I don't like anything competitive. I'm not a competitive person by well, competitive isn't the right word. I don't like things like esport titles that are played as esport. I don't mind playing some games for the single player aspect of things. I'm a far bigger single player person than I am anything else. There's no question there. However, I would much prefer single games just because it's just something I like better, to be honest. Oh, see, the problem I've got to try and steal that coal before it actually comes out. That's not good. How much have I got right now? Not just one. So I won't play things like MOBAs, for example. I'm not going to play PUBG, and Fortnite is just banned. Fortnite is never to mention this channel ever again because I hate that game with a passion. I detest microtransactions, as in pay to win. I'm not overly fond of cosmetic stuff either. There's a game I played just now, Tales of Arise. Now, I'm sure people have heard of that game. It's actually not a bad game. In the Tales series, I quite liked it. I completed it. Storyline was fairly good. The ending was a teeny bit, but they always are, aren't they? But yes, it was a pretty good game. It goes on forever. Plenty of content. I like that sort of stuff. I quite like a good JRPG. Final Fantasy series, yeah, not bad. I'm not a huge fan as much as some people are. Strangely enough, one of my favourite Final Fantasy games of all time is Final Fantasy X, because I thought the storyline in that was epic, absolutely epic. Was not predictable. If anybody says it was predictable, they're lying. Don't believe a word of it. They're lying. And I like the combat. I love turn-based combat. I like all combat. I'm not that fussy about combat. Turn-based combat, though, definitely I find it nicer because you've got more time to think of strategies and how you defeat. I don't know if anybody's actually played the game listening to this. There's a boss called Lady Unalesca who is probably one of the biggest bosses in the game, if you like. It's the turning point for the whole game. And when I first played it, this is on the PlayStation 2. This is how far back we're going. I didn't play it like on the new I've played the remastered versions. They're very good, actually. The remastered ones are excellent. But I did play it on the original PS2 without any hacks, cheating, mods, or whatever. And it took me a little while to figure out how to defeat her, because it was very cleverly done. For those who aren't entirely sure, she throws a lot of death magic at you. And you actually have to counter it using holy magic, which I didn't quite understand to begin with until I realised that if you use it, it actually damages them. So, but only at the right time. Yeah, it's pretty tricky. But yeah, awesome game, love it. Final Fantasy 13, on the other hand, was a big piling stinky poo of crap. It was supposed to be the next big thing on PS3. It was supposed to be the game that everyone had to play. It was in development for quite a long time, actually, I remember. And graphically, fabulous. What a damn good looking game that was. Absolutely superb. Gameplay, on the other hand, it was when they introduced the paradigm system, which essentially the game played itself for you. There were certain parts of the game where you had to get involved, otherwise it wouldn't actually. You couldn't beat the enemy. It's impossible. But that didn't happen enough for my liking, and ultimately the storyline was crap. The combat was just not as good. It introduced the active time bar, but I didn't like that at all. There's something just didn't make it flow properly for me personally. It wasn't my favourite game, I have to be honest. Why have I not got enough stone? I need more stone. But I have plenty of stone. So yeah, that was a bit of a disappointment. But one of my favourite series is, believe it or not, of all the different games I could have played, and I don't know why I like it so much. I think it's because, again, it's turn-based, and I found it to be quite playable. Is the Trials of Cold Steel series. Oddly enough, storyline is just pure anime crap. It goes on forever. I mean ever. There's 4 games in the series, all carrying on the same storyline with all the same characters. Well, mainly there's a few extra ones that come in, and I can definitely see a lot of people not liking the game that much purely because it could go on forever, and it's so anime cheesy that you just think, oh, really? But I will say that the main story of the whole game is actually pretty good. Very, very, very interesting. It's done very well in most places. But the combat, I like the combat a lot. I find it to be very, very satisfying. And you could not just use the same move over and over and over and over again, especially on certain boss battles. You have to really think about it to figure out how to defeat them. So yeah, that was fun. Tales of Berseria, that's one of my all-time favourites. Storyline, that's brilliant. It's a bit Japanesey cheesy, but the overall idea of the story is very good. Oh yeah, so I don't just play those games. Obviously, I'm playing this for God's sake. I mean, this isn't a game I would normally play in my repertoire of game genres that I like, but this really works for me. The Valheim is one of the best games I've ever played. I also quite like Satisfactory, made by the same guys actually. It's not quite as in-depth as Valheim. There's a lot of... It's like you can't alter the world, for example. You can't dig into it and build things like you can in this. You build structures that are all prefabs. You can put your own little bits on, like walkways and ladders, and of course you can build your own like floors and walls and that sort of stuff. It's not quite as in depth as Valheim is, but the game itself is very good. I quite like it. It's still being worked on. That's been worked on forever. That must be what, 5 years now, 4 to 5 years away since it began. Long time. Oh, what else do I like? I'm trying to remember now. What else was there? Oh, I like this Subnautica, the original Subnautica game. That was a pretty epic game as well, and that succeeded quite well because it did something that I don't think enough games do, and that is to trust the player to actually understand the story that's being tried to tell. There's no cutscenes in that game whatsoever, apart from when you leave the planet and when you get on the planet, I think, and when you. I think there's one where you I won't ruin the game for everybody, but there's a particular part of the game near the end that something quite big happens. That is a cutscene, but it has to be because it makes perfect sense. Everything else is not cutscene at all. You basically figure out the storyline by finding like wreckage, and you explore the wreckage, and it tells you what happened essentially. Why can't I find the stone that I thought I had? I have found a big load of stone somewhere. I have to try and find that. So yes, the exploration of that game was absolutely superb. The only downside to it is because it was all handcrafted. There was no procedural generated levels whatsoever. It was all handmade. Once you played it, it's kind of it really. But it has got an extensive base builder, so you can actually build your own massive bases with all sorts of rooms and things you can do in it. To be completely honest, apart from a couple of necessary features, you didn't actually need to build a big base. It's just there for more aesthetics than anything, and just for yourself fun. You know what I mean? It wasn't essential in terms of what you could put in it. You had to build the bases. That was essential. You needed the base, otherwise you could never complete the game, because there were certain things you could only do inside the base. But I would like to have seen maybe a bit more use for these bases rather than just what they were. But yeah, the game itself is tremendous. A lot of good gameplay, actually. The ultimate aim of the game is to basically go as deep as you can. And to go deep, you have to find resources to build add-ons to your various vehicles that can go deeper and deeper until you get to the absolute depth you can go. And then you discover the secret, which is cool. Subnautica 2, on the other hand, was not so good. For one thing, they made the protagonist voiced and not you. You didn't play as a unknown character. You played as somebody who was trying to find out why their sister was killed. And the game, one of the most coolest aspects of Subnautica was the submarine. Come on, everyone loved the submarine. It was an awesome thing to have. Big Cyclops, I think it was called. And you had other little vehicles as well that you could sort of swim around in. The problem with Subnautica 2 is there's only one real vehicle, and that was the sea truck, I think it was called. The trouble with the sea truck, the concept is quite good. It was modular designs. Have I got enough rocks? I can't remember actually. I should check that. How many do I need? Oh, I have enough for everything actually. Look at me babbling on. I've already got the stuff what I need. But yes, yeah, sea truck. You added things like storage, a fabricator, which you used to make things, sleeping area, transport, all the sort of stuff. But it's all on one truck, and then eventually you ended up this big, long, great big whale that went as about 2 miles an hour. It was horrendous. And I just didn't like it. I think it ruined the flow of the game, in my personal opinion. So wasn't the best game, and it was a bit short as well. I think it was a lot shorter than it needed to be. Anyway, as you can see, I actually have my forge. I'll put it over here actually. There you go. Now the forge is essential because this is what you use to do things like repair all of your items. Apart from I can't repair what I wanted to repair. Oh, you got to upgrade it to up. Oh, bugger. See, I didn't know that. So you have to upgrade this as well to actually repair things like the silver sword and things like that. And that's quite a high level. So that could take a while, actually. Right, it's fine. I knew that. Okay, what do we need to do that? That's what I need to know. So that's a workbench. Forge is anvils and a sharpening stone. Yeah, the first thing you can do is build an anvil. That's right, I remember now. So we'll do that next. Let's grab all this metal, because we've got loads of metal here now. Cha-cha-cha-ching. So what we do now is... contrary to what I would have expected, to make alloys, you actually have to do it yourself, which I never really understood that. But why can't I do it? Why can I not craft that? Have I not got tin? Oh wait, do I not have enough room to carry it? But that's why. It's annoying. Yeah, that's why. There we go. More like it. So yeah, you have to actually craft it yourself rather than using like the smelter to actually add them together in some way. It's the only thing I didn't quite understand, but anyway, whatever. So there you go. I make bronze now. So let's make some bronze. Oh, that's the other thing that's annoying as well. You can't craft it into an inventory that's already empty, which is a bit of a pain. We'll just dump some more stuff on the floor that we don't actually need right now. I do for now. Right, craft. No, what's the problem? I haven't. What's it picking up? Oh, it's doing this auto pickup thing. I don't want the coal. Get rid of it. Just let me build. There. No, that one. I got one. Why have I only got one? What's missing? Why can't I build any more? Because of my. It can't be right. Inventory full. How can it be? How can it be full? I can put more on the. Oh, very confusing. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, so we have 3 bronze bars. So as you can see, we can now make some nails. So what else can we build? I think it'd be better off building that the anvils, because you need this to be eventually to be able to repair things. Which is what we definitely want. There we go. I can't remember what levels you have to repair things though. So it's repaired my shield and my pickaxe, I think, and my hoe and my axe. Oh, lovely. There we go. So the only thing I can't fix right now is my sword. We can get rid of that now. Don't need it. Don't know what. I don't think I need them. I can't think of a use for a knife, so we'll get rid of that as well. Just for the record, this trash bin is not normally it's not normally in the game. I've added it because I just find it so annoying not to be able to just delete things you don't need. The leather, on the other hand, I'll keep in case I lose my armor. So one thing about this game is if you lose your armor, you can retrieve it, but you have to go back to where you were killed, and that can be a pain sometimes. Okay, what we also can do, because it's a good idea, is to repair like the hammers. I like to keep a spare hammer because they do run out eventually. This is level 3, and this one's a level 1. I already had the level 3 one, but level 1's what you start off with, they do run down quicker. That's basically what happens there. Nice. Now, I've still got enough to make some bronze nails, so I'm probably going to do that, I think, actually. Cool. Now, what do I need to build certain things? Let's have a look. Ignore this. This is all modded stuff, and I'm not going to bother with this right now. A coin stack. Coin stacks could be cool, actually. Let's build some coin stacks just because you can. Let's put them next. Let's put them at the end, next to my bed over here. Look. Oh, is that all I can build? Is it? Oh, fair enough. If I have more gold than that, fine. Let's see what else you can do. There's a kind pile for 1,000 gold. Treasure chest. That's cool. So boats. Can I build a? So I could actually build a carve. Carves are probably the best boat, I think, in the game. Actually, the longship is a good. It's pretty much essential because it has a higher health bar, and occasionally you get attacked even by sea serpents, and they are horrid things if you're not high enough level to survive them. And the longship does help with that a little bit. They do have a bit more health. They have a bigger storage capacity as well, but they are slower. Well, they're not slower. I think they go faster in a straight line, but they're a pain in the rear to turn very slow, like a beach whale. So we will build a carb at some point. But what I'll do for now is I'll build what I said I was going to build, and that's a cart. These are absolutely essential. This makes the game worthy. There you go. Using them is a bit of a pain. In fact, I should have done outside, actually. What you have to do is you actually literally position yourself between the two poles, look, and then you can pick it up. And then you can just drag it behind you, which I'll do down the stairs. Look, there you go. In fact, as I just... yeah, there you go. Look, see, if it falls down, it will actually fall over. And you can't just pick it up. You have to actually push it over like that so you can get in there. What I will do for the time being, though, is go to bed. It's not a good idea to go out during the night time. Actually, before I do that, let's put some more wood in the kiln. Kiln? Yeah, kiln. Is that all the wood I've got, is it? Never mind. And we'll leave that to that. It's just worth having as much metal as possible going on. Eventually, you build 2 or 3 of those until you can have more being built. Is that fine with you? We'll have that. And I'll just dump the rest of that down there as well. There we go. Nice. Right, let's go to sleep. But who's watching the game and hasn't for the first time and they're wondering what's going on here and why is it so quiet and boring? It is definitely the sort of game that does take some time to get into, especially if you've just started, because you won't have the same skill set I have in this character. It can take a while to build it up, but it's worth it because it's fun to do that. It's a challenge as well. It's not easy to do it. At least not unless you know what you're doing, I suppose. And I highly encourage people, if they're watching me play now and they're thinking to themselves, oh, I actually do want to play that, I suspect you can probably watch the rest of this live stream, no problem. I'm not going to be doing anything groundbreaking, I don't think. However, I wouldn't be watching me play for much longer because you want to discover a lot of this stuff for yourself, I think. Don't read guides online. That ruins it, I think. If you're not sure how to do something, then yes, that's a bit different. There's a couple of times I did have to nip online to figure something out that I couldn't understand. And when I eventually figured it out, it did make sense. It's just that I didn't see it at the time. But yeah, I highly encourage that. Don't just watch you play it all the way through and then just play it, because that's boring. Actually, while I'm here, I can make some more bronze stuff. There you go. You can do 5 stacks if you've got enough as well, which is useful. Saves a bit of time. Look, there you go. So I'll just put these bronze stacks in here for now. Eventually I'll make some chests because it makes it easier to store things so you know where things are. But what we want to do now is we want to I think that's fine for now. We're going to go mining. That's what we want to do for the time being. See, it's quite finicky trying to get this car. Actually, I think that's upside down, actually. Yeah. There you go. Now, carts are not indestructible. They can be destroyed. They can be broken. And they can be completely destroyed. Unlike tools, which you carry along with you, they can be wiped out. Like that, for example. Never good. So always make sure that you keep a hammer with you so you can repair it, because you don't want to be losing it, obviously. with hammers, to repair something, you click on that one there. The only problem is you have to be next to a crafting station, which is the workbench in this case. So you can actually build workstations in the field. You don't have to go back home to do it, which is rather helpful. And eventually what you'll end up doing is you'll build little huts everywhere with your crafting station in there, because you can't do anything unless it's actually covered with a little roof. So you build these little huts with a little bed, so you can go and sleep in them as well. In fact, if you come across these sort of things, that you can actually usurp these and just use them for your own devices as well. You could get bigger ones than this. Many a time I've come across slightly bigger buildings and just used them to basically as a base. Oh, I obviously picked up that dead bull I killed earlier. Oh, you can make boar jerky now. Oh, that's interesting. So that's a new recipe. Sounds tasty, actually. I like a bit of jerky. Yum, 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 yum. Alright. I think I get lost. I lose track of what I'm saying half the time. Is that the same discussion I had? Oh no, what's this say? Oh, this is new. A full belly, a full sail, the weight of a spear to your hand, and a song on your lips. Let all the mountains crumble and the seas boil to salt. One day in the sun is a life well lived. That's new. I've lost my truck. Where's my truck gone? Oh, this is a bit odd. That's annoying. There he is over there. Look. Gotta be careful of that, because there's no marking on the actual map where your carts are, and they can get caught on the little, not these things, they're fine, but the little bushes and little rocks that you don't quite see. Anyway, I did mark these copper things, so we'll go over to these, I think. You actually, the more you put into the cart, the more it will weigh, and it will be harder to pull. That's always a nightmare, but it's still faster than trying to carry it on by yourself, because you can't fit as much in. It's a lot more convenient doing it this way. Anyway, as I was trying to say, because I keep getting sidetracked. Yeah, games to review. Or even live reviews, if you like. Any indie game, I'm happy with it all. Give me some ideas from indie games. I'm definitely, without question, going to be reviewing Ocarina Rush, which, if you haven't heard of it, it's been in development for a good couple of years now. I think, if I remember rightly, in total, it's about 6 years. They had a very successful Kickstarter about 2 years ago, I think it is now. And it's essentially a old school 2D pixel graphics beat 'em up, if you like. Think, God, what's a good example to use? Oh, I don't know actually. Essentially, it's like a platformer. 2D platformer, and I don't know the full story because I've not played it yet. I haven't played the demo. I've deliberately avoided playing the demo because I don't want to get too into it yet until I get the full game. The full game is released 21st of October, I believe. It was the date was given yesterday, or today if you're still in the US. And it's the reason it sounds such a good game is because of the combat system. Most of these little side scrollers that you had in the good old days of the Commodore 64 and the Amiga and the Mega Drive and all those sort of games. It's kind of like Rastan, perhaps. I think it's Rastan or the old-fashioned Barbarian games. It even kind of reminds me of Rygar. If anybody's ever played Rygar, do hit me up in the comments, because that's showing your age, seriously. But yeah, actually, while I'm sidetracked, one thing that you definitely should do is when you're out in the field like this, and especially in the Black Forest, build some fires. And the reason for that is because most of the creatures that are out here trying to eat you, or whatever they're trying to do to you, don't like fire. So if you build a couple of fires, they tend to more or less leave you alone. I mean, I wouldn't say they definitely leave you alone completely. Oh, there's a tomb there, look. That's the one I was in before. I'm just grabbing some wood, and I need to grab some stones as well. Which I don't think... Oh, there we go. Oh, crap. That's a problem. That, my friends, is a troll. And I have a problem because I have no stamina. So I'm just going to nip in here for a second. Let's see what I can do about getting some stamina. Trolls are not hard to kill now for me, but they still cause difficulty. Without question. I'm just going to grab some mushrooms because they're not the best food in the world, but they are a little bit better than what like a normal mushroom is. So killing trolls is essential for lower level when you eventually get to that stage because they have troll skin. Yes, I know, very nice. And the troll skin is what you use to make the next level of armor, which is exceptionally helpful. It also has sneak. One thing I haven't even shown you in this game, if you've been watching this since the start, is you can actually sneak in the same way you can in Skyrim or any Elder Scrolls game. It's exactly the same system almost. So that will turn into an eye if anybody sees you. Very handy. The higher the level you are, the better you sneak, I think. And also, if you wear troll armor, it increase your sneaking by, I think it's 75% if you wear all of it. So it is worth having. What does this actually give you? 30 stamina. See, stamina is absolutely what I need right now. What does that give you? That gives you health. That gives you health. Yeah, that's right. It's got slightly better stamina. So currently, I'm in a better position to fight this guy. My only problem is my sword is very low on health. Now, I can't remember if he hangs around outside after you've been in. They don't just disappear. I definitely tell you that much now. You go in there. They don't just disappear into the ether. He's just wandered off to do his own thing. Presumably because he can't fit in there, I imagine. So now I know there's a troll around. What's going to happen is this, I'm going to start banging on these rocks and he's going to come along and see what the noise is. When you first play this game, actually I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab that copper first of all because that's handy. Oh. Just one. I'm going to, hopefully my thing's still here actually. I just realised I can't see it. It's not impossible to be fair that he hasn't actually destroyed my cart. I cannot actually see my cart at all. There was a small copper vein left. Where is that? That will be a real pain if he's actually gone ahead and just destroyed that. I bet he has. Well, that's not much help. Was it over here? I think it was here. I suspect that's what that wood was, maybe. Maybe it was on this side. Well, the trouble is, I wasn't actually expecting a troll. Should have been. Should know be here somewhere. Oh, how irritating. Is that another massive... Is that copper, is it? Or is that just a stone? Oh, no, it's copper. Well, while we're here, we might as well mark it, I suppose. But I have a suspicion I have lost my cart. Which, if I can find it, I can pick up the nails and just build another one. Oh, there's some carrot seeds. Can't have them right now. Come on, where did it go? That troll again. Oh, incredibly frustrating. It would be nice, I think, if your vehicles were actually shown on your map. That would have been quite useful, I think, in this game. Can be a touch frustrating when you lose them like this. Going the wrong way anyway. Oh crap! There he is. Not really what I need right now. Fine, I'm gonna have to try and destroy him, aren't I? Doesn't help I can't see what I'm doing. What up? Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Right. Let's use my power potion. That's very handy. So yeah, I've got to get the timing right. You can actually block him. Doesn't seem to be going down very hard, does he? Okay. I think part of the problem here is I don't tend to have much stamina. Oh, I've run out of one of my foods. We need that one, I think, for health. There you go. If you can catch him while he's stunned, you get a far better chance of killing him. It's just hard to get him when he's hitting you because I couldn't see what I was doing for some reason. Anyway, he's gone. He won't come back either, which is a nice thing. Now you get nice things like get the troll hide, loads of money, that sort of stuff. You get the troll trophy, which I don't really care about, and the troll hide. Probably at the moment, I will probably have to grab that. I think. Because I'm going to need that, I think, for making some armor if I ever lose mine. So we'll do that. I get rid of. Okay. Oh, I don't want a trophy. Don't want that. That'll do. Right. Well, now he's gone, it does make mining a bit easier. But I would like to find my cart, though. That would be quite nice. But I can't find it. If I can't find it, I'll have to go home and build another one. Like I said earlier, it would really so bad if I could find the remnants of it if it has been destroyed, because at least I can make another one. But there's the copper deposit I had before. So if it was still here, it would be around here, I think. Actually, have I already picked it up? Is that what that is? Bet it is. That's why I couldn't find it, because I'd already found it. Ah, how frustrating. Fine. Because of that, we'll have to nip off home again, because you can't mining without a cart. It's just a bit pointless. You can't carry it backwards and forwards. It's just not worth the effort, to be honest. Oh well, there you go. At least you've now seen a troll being killed, and you cannot kill a troll when you first start playing the game. It's just not going to happen. Your blocking ability is not enough to stop its massive, because some of these trolls have massive tree trunks if they swing around as clubs, and if one of them hits you, you're dead essentially. So you have to be patient. When you're mining, you have to keep a lookout for these trolls, and as soon as you see one, you just leg it. If you can actually build the base, but the trouble is the troll will eventually come to your base and he'll try and break in, which is irritating. There's a bit of a cat and mouse game when you first try mining. Eventually you get slightly better equipment, and you can actually kill it. It can be done. You get like a bronze sword with some armor. That usually is enough to be able to hit it enough times for it to die, and you can get out of the way. I've only just realised I haven't set the keybinds up properly, because you can actually dodge in this as well. As long as you've got the stamina, you can actually do a diving dodge. I forget if I can do it now. Yeah, there you go. Look. I think it's ducking. Yeah, ducking. That does. I usually attach it to like a mouse button. I must do that actually. But it does make it a lot easier to avoid those attacks. But you can only do it a couple of times, which is a pain. Right. So I think what we'll do is we'll build another cart then. There you go. And I believe it's night time. So let's go for a nap. There we go. Ooh. Nice. They're all new as well. I haven't seen those ones before. They get like little snippets of information about your past life, but that's a new one. They've obviously improved those. Oh yes, there is. Actually, should I tell you? No, I won't tell you. Let's just say that there is. When I played it for the first time, I never actually figured out what it was, but there's something that happens in the game. We may even see it possibly at some point. If we do, I'll point it out. But if not, I won't say anything yet. Which is incredibly cool, but no one, it's not entirely sure what it is yet, and if it means anything of major importance. But it's very cool nonetheless. So if it happens, I'll point it out to you. So we're just going to go back to the mining set bit and do some copper mining. Then we'll go and find some more tin, and then we'll build enough to get some other bits and bobs. Mainly what we're going to be doing for me personally is I'm going to be building enough items around the forge so I can repair my equipment as much as I can, which I think I've got now. And I will need to build a decent sword, because this sword is about to stop working, and I have absolutely no way to repair it just now. So I am going to need to be able to build a sword, because I need to use it to go to the swamp area. Eventually, the swamp area, when you get the iron required from there, you can build an iron sword, and that does make life quite a bit easier. What was that? Oh, seriously? Just punched neck in the neck. Where's the arms? This side. There we go. And keep an eye on the health of that by looking at using a hammer. As you can see, they're not strong. They do get damaged quite quickly, and it's always in your best interest to sort that out as soon as possible. So what I will do is I will actually build a workbench in a minute in a little hut, so I can actually keep it repaired next to the mining area. Now, I would say that when you're playing this, especially this game, you need to play it in the way that you're not expecting to get loads of action and fast-paced going gameplay. You're not going to get that. This is a game where you chill out, you just build, you explore, you do what you need to do. You know, you just play the game like that. You don't play this for like the massive adventures. I have watched, and I do know that people can play this on together, like in groups on like a server. And if you've never played the game, that's key, I would suggest. And you play together, that is exceptionally fun from what I've seen, because you're finding out things together. I believe the game actually scales its difficulty depending on how many people are actually in the world as well, which I think is a good idea because you don't make it too easy. In fact, I know that people play the game on a dedicated server by themselves, but add bots into the game, as it were, just to increase the difficulty level, which I think is quite funny, because some people find it too easy. Right, let's leave the cart where it is, and what we'll do is we'll do what I said before. So we'll find a nice sort of spot here, and we'll build a workbench. I think I've got enough to do that. We just shove it there. Look. For a workbench to work, as I mentioned before, it requires a little house. In actual fact, it's odd. I've never been able to. I haven't even bothered, to be honest. But to find out exactly what it needs in order to work, there's a certain level of cover it requires. I'm sure that's been. Oh, well, I could look it up, I suppose. I'm not going to bother. Look at this guy. I'm not going to use my sword for that. Come here. You can kick him. That's quite good. You can still block if you really want to as well. I'm obviously in no danger, really. So, right. I'm being just a bit more elaborate than I really need to be with this. Oh, I need some wood first. Let's grab some wood. Oh, fir trees. I forget if these have actual wood. Yeah, it's fir trees. Certain trees, as I'm sure you're already aware, have certain woods. That's it. So, pine trees have this thing called core wood. Now, we don't want core wood because core wood doesn't do anything for us at the moment. It's used to build much stronger structures, and you will need that later on down the line. But for the time being, it's not necessary. These creatures are quite persistent for some reason today. Those noises are critical hits, I think, if I remember rightly, and you get them by staggering them. You just keep hitting them, basically. Oh, I did this wrong. We just need one, I think, if I remember rightly, each side. There we go. Suppose I could just finish it off just for aesthetic reasons. Ah, oh, so I've got yet more wood, apparently. You never ever seem to have quite enough wood. No, we don't want pine, because that's not going to give us what we want. Now I can fix my axe. I don't mind hitting the stumps now. That's probably enough. Is this one? There you go. Just because. And I think I'll just oh, because this is stone, so you actually have to mine this just to get rid of it. There. Much better. There you go. Now you can repair it, you see. So that's fine. I'm not going to bother putting a floor and stuff because this isn't going to be a permanent structure as such. But okay. So what we do now is simply get to mining. Now, what I will do at some point is, the pickaxe does not last forever. And what I would do is I would have all the different pickaxes you can get. So you can get the bronze pickaxe, you get the iron pickaxe, which I think I've got. I think I've got now, have I? Yeah. And you can also get the antlers. If you remember, I mentioned yesterday, you destroy the first boss. You get antlers, and you can make another pickaxe, and they're very good. That's what you need to be able to do this in the first place. You can't mine at all until you defeat the deer spirit. Must admit, I could just do with a coffee about now. So could he, by the looks of it. All right. Hi ho, hi ho. Yes, I am fully aware this is incredibly boring. When you can't pick up any more copper, just nip back to your cart, and just dump it in there. As you can see, there's quite a lot of storage. There's no harm sticking other things in there for the time being, because you're never going to be able to carry all of this stuff. Rocks, on the other hand, we don't really want those. For some reason, mining copper is very tedious, actually, compared to mining things like iron. Iron's not so bad, but copper is so dull. And don't forget, I'm using an iron axe, so if you had the lower axe, it would take even longer. I think I've missed a little bit over here. Right, there's probably a few tiny scraps I've missed, but that'll do for now. So what I'll do, I'll just pop this in here. It's only 17 copper after all that. Oh, sorry, well, let's put that in there. 30 copper, there we go. Right, my dog wants out again. Different dog this time, so I will return shortly. Right, I'll have to sort of dog out later. I just noticed it's actually nearly 2 hours streaming, so I'll probably stop soon anyway. This can go on for far too long. Think about Valheim, you can play this game for hours and you don't even notice. This is quite funny. Right, so what I'll do now is that's enough tin copper just for the time being. We don't need loads of it just now. So what we'll do now is we'll grab the cart, and we're going to wander off now and try and find some tin. Now this can be a bit more annoying because, well, for example, there's a structure over here that now when you're high enough level, which you don't need to be that high, you just need to be able to take down skeletons without any real difficulty, because this is what you tend to find over here. But these stone structures can actually have resources in barrels. Sometimes they can save you a lot of work, so it's always worth taking a look. But you do tend to have to kill all the inhabitants, if we say, first of all. I'll leave this just out of view a little bit. In fact, I wouldn't be too surprised actually the troll actually lived here. That's why it's empty. And if that's the case, there should be weird shadowing. That's quite odd. Look at that. What's that shadow there? That's very strange. What's going on there? How weird. Yeah, I mean, so look up these stairs. There might be a chest that he left behind. Yeah, and just for the record, these structures are procedurally generated. Oh, there's a skeleton guarding it. They're not always the same, which I think is fantastic. Oh, after all that, not entirely exciting. Oh well. This isn't the structure I was thinking of anyway. There's usually other ones, so let's see if you can find them. So the biomes in this game as well, that's something that I should mention as well. So the biomes are different. You have got like plains, swamps, that sort of thing, and they are exponentially harder than this is. The idea behind the Black Forest is it's the introduction into the harsh way the game can treat you sometimes, but it's still very mild compared to what it can do. In a swamp's probably one of the worst to begin with. I hate the swamps. They have a lot of these what's called draugas, and they're like, but they're very similar to what you find in Skyrim if you've ever played that, like the undead essentially. And they like to come at you with crossbows, I think. Not very nice at all. There's also big glowing slime things that like to kill you. There's lots of things that like to kill you in the swamp. The worst of all are the wraiths. I do not like them when you first start the game. Wraiths look like what you'd expect them to look like dark-looking ghost-type things. And they just fly around, and they'll just come at you. Thankfully, they're not impossible to kill, but they certainly do hurt if they hit you. Ooh, don't want to do that. The carts cannot swim. However, I've not managed to do it personally. So when I first played the game a long time ago, I made a raft, which is the first boat type thing you can make. And I thought, because the raft had a flat surface, that you could actually put your cart on top of the raft and take it with you, which in principle sounds like a great idea. Unfortunately, in practice, the cart would never stay still long enough to stay on the raft, and eventually it'd fall into the water. Now, it does float, and apparently it is actually possible to retrieve it. I just never got a chance to get it. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if you can swim back to shore or not. And that's another thing as well, that if you don't know about the game, stamina is required to swim. You can't just swim indefinitely. And if your stamina runs out, you will simply drown. And that is the end of you. It's as easy as that. Very harsh, it has to be said. Let's get rid of these rocks. Well, let's not get rid of them. Let's put them in here. Rocks are absolutely required eventually when you start building stonework, and you never ever have enough of them ever. You run out of them in seconds. One stone slab for a walkway is, I think it's 6 rocks, and yeah, that's a lot of rocks. If you're wondering why I'm collecting these thistles, by the way, for reasons that I've not quite figured out, they are essential for sausages. Yes, you heard me right. So you can make sausages out of meat, thistles, and something else I've forgotten. There's more copper here. Lovely. Eventually, we won't need copper, but until you do, it's worth marking everything down. Anyway, this is not helping me find any tin. I found one little bit, but I'm going to need a little bit more than 3 bits of tin. So, I need to keep looking. Is that some there? That looks like, I think that's tin. Yeah. Notice how my pickaxe has dramatically lost strength, even after being repaired recently. It's one of the bigger problems of the game. They make those sort of things quite fragile. And yes, I am fully aware there is a mod for that as well. In fact, I've got it installed, but I haven't activated that part of it. There's a mod called Valheim. Valheim Plus. And for the record, yes, you can use an axe as an actual weapon. I just quite like my sword is all. But as I can repair my axe and not my sword, maybe I should start using this for the time being, actually. Right, let's grab some more tin. Now, I've been streaming for 2 hours, so in a moment I'll be calling it a night. After I've killed, I've got to be careful of these brutes. I think I'm okay because I'm high enough level to handle it, but these can be quite nasty. They hit very hard. Not ideal when you're out and about and you're a slightly lower level than I am. Right, that's probably enough tin for now, I think. So, what we'll do then, we'll call it a day. I may do one more Valheim stream. So keep an eye out for that. I'll announce that in the next day or so. We'll play one more time. I doubt I'll be playing it for much longer because I want to play another game, I expect. So if you are watching this on Video Demand, you've made it to the end of the video, then thank you very much for watching. That's incredibly brave of you. Keep an eye out on Twitter. Make sure you follow me at IsIT Reviews. You'll find, I believe that link is on my YouTube page somewhere. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will be doing other game reviews as well. Like I say, mostly I'm going to try doing some live reviews to begin with. So if you have any game suggestions, please put them in the comments below. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I will hope to see you again. And if you are watching it on video on demand, and you have the time to pop in at about 10 o'clock, How about usually between 10:30, 11:30 GMT, which is about 4 o'clock or so Pacific time, then please do come and say hello. It's going to take a while, obviously, but I do intend to build up a little community if I can do that. So it will take some time to do, but if you want to just spread the word and get people to, there's a new guy in town doing some honest reviews of games, then I'm not going to be bought for, not going to be a shill, you know. Then yeah, let people know, see if we can let people go in. But other than that, thanks for watching. You take it easy, and bye bye for now.